Okay, in this video we're coming to the second to last of the non-price determinants of demand, and these are the things that cause the demand curve to shift. Okay, I know I'm going into huge detail in every video. This is the hope that it really helps you understand what's actually going on. So back to this flipping slide that we're hopefully sick of by this stage, but only hopefully because we know it so well. So what are the things that cause a shift of the demand curve? Well, changes in taste of the consumer, changes in other related goods prices, changes in expectations of future price, changes in income of the consumer. Remember, that was the last video. It depends on whether the good is normal or inferior. And now the next one, this one that we're doing now, is size of the market. Don't forget, we are consistently working off this idea of TOAS, which is taste and preferences of the consumer, other related goods prices, expectations regarding future price, income of the consumer, and now I believe we are talking about size of the market. Now, I am very happy to bore you with this curve again, because what we've got here is the outward shift of the demand curve, and what that means is that every price more is bought, and this is called an increase in demand, not an increase in quantity demanded. And on the other hand, we've got an inward shift of the demand curve. At every price less is bought following this inward shift, and this is called a decrease in demand. Now, what we are talking about, particularly when it comes to demand, is the size of the market refers to the quantity, okay, of buyers and sellers in that operate in that market. But obviously, when we're saying there's a huge market, depending on what you want to actually define as big, because I mean, Amazon sells all over the world and it's a massive market. Now, right now we're only talking about consumers, right? So the greater the number of consumers in the market, the greater the level of demand. Now, I haven't said a change yet, because in economics we always are measuring the effect of a change. So as the size of the population, or the number of consumers in a market increases, that causes the demand curve to shift out. The lower the number of consumers in a market, the lower the level of demand, and that's true too. So therefore, if the number of consumers increases, the demand curve shifts outwards, showing that more is bought at every price. And if the number of consumers decreases, the demand curve shifts inwards. I hope, I mean, there's nothing crazy that I've said there. I really hope that does make sense. So if there's an increase in immigration, there is more people move from one part of the country to another. If, you know, something like that occurs, there's a higher birth rate in 18 years, then there's more and more consumers. The demand curve for this good, which is a specific good, the good in question, will shift outwards. Now, again, I am only showing it at one price, but at every price more is bought. This is an outward shift or a rightward shift of the demand curve caused by an increase in the number of consumers in the market. That means that at every price more is bought, and the demand curve is shifted outwards, meaning that there has been an increase in demand. On the other hand, and again, I think the best example is net emigration from a country, a region, a city, or what have you. Well, if there's net emigration, or if there's, you know, a high, unfortunately, death rate or a low birth rate or something like that, and then 20 years later it comes into fruition, there will be less consumers in the market. If there are less consumers in the market, well, then that means that there are less buyers. That means that at every price, less of this particular good, that's what this line means, is bought. And as such, that is a decrease in demand. At every single price, even though I'm only showing one price, less is bought. That's an inward shift in the demand curve, and that's a decrease in demand, showing that at every price less is bought. Guys, I hope that was simple. I hope that was straightforward. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this helps, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.